U.S. government. The latest move came over the weekend when an email was sent to federal workers asking them to list 5 things they accomplished last week. Even more confusion was added when several agency leaders told their employees to not respond to the email. Joining us now is John Hatton with the National Active and Retired Federal Employees Association. John, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
So you were here a few weeks ago and we spoke about kind of the uncertainty that's happening, and it doesn't seem like the government shakeup is close to being over. What are you seeing?
We're seeing the continuation of an effort to downsize the federal workforce without regard to its impact on government operations. We saw first the deferred resignation offer that around 75 or 77,000 federal employees took, reducing the size of the workforce. We saw probationary employees terminated or laid off, even some who had worked for the government for years, but simply were in a new position, potentially due to a promotion. Now we're seeing this email potentially as the precursor to a basis for reductions in force that they have foreshadowed via previous actions in terms of the executive order. What's curious to me is why they're sending this email now when they've already started layoffs of probationary employees. You would think they would wanted to know this information earlier.
And this email asks the employees to write 5 bullet points of what they did last week. How do you think that information is going to be read and then applied to whether or not they keep their job?
We don't know that yet. There's a lot of uncertainty over this. There's a lot of new legal theories about who has what authority. I think we're already seeing certain agency heads step in and say, don't reply to this email, for whatever reason, whether that's the potential for release of classified or secure information, or if that's just asserting their authority as heads of the agency. It's unclear what authority OPM has to ask for this information or to use it as a basis for any terminations. On Twitter, Elon Musk went and said that if you don't reply, you're going to be fired. It's unclear that could be taken per existing law and legal precedent as a termination, simply not replying to the email. So a lot remains to be seen about what the DOJ plans to do with this and what agency heads will do with it, how it's going to be directed by DOJ or the president. It adds into the chaos that's happening across the federal government.
At the end of the email, it said if you don't respond, it would be taken as a resignation. But Tulsi Gabbard, who is now in charge of the intelligence agencies, she says do not respond. What are you as an organization telling your members? Should they respond? Should they not respond?
We're advising that they listen to the agency heads. So if their agency head is Tulsi Gabbard, I would listen to her and not the email from the Office of Personnel Management. I think it's another one of those situations where there's a lot of legal uncertainty around it. And if, we don't have I wouldn't say in every single case you shouldn't respond because I don't know what the implications are going to be of that. But certainly look to guidance from your agency and your agency head. Agency heads are appointed by the president with advice and consent of the Senate. There is kind of clear role and constitutional authority for that, which is not the case with DOJ and emails from hr@opm.gov.
So on X, Elon Musk actually put out a poll that he pinned to his page asking kind of just the public in general if people should be forced to do this, write down what they did for the past week. And people who have responded to his poll overwhelmingly said yes, that they should. What is the difference between asking an employee what they accomplished with no strings attached, not knowing that this could be the loss of a job, to asking somebody to tell me what you did last week with that almost like overwhelming feeling that you have to give the right answer or you could lose your livelihood?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything offensive about a manager asking an employee what they did last week or having a system of performance management and review. That's not something that we would object to. It's the manner in which this is being done in the context of all these other cuts to the federal workforce. and in the context of the fact that it's unclear that Elon Musk has the authority to do this. So, I think it's following legal processes, having a process in place in which it's done by the agencies and not by HR at opm.gov. It's disruptive to agency operations if OPM, which is going to make decisions about who should be hired and fired, or who the agency should keep based on the responses of this email, as opposed to that being done through a normal agency process. And so it's chaotic for the federal government. And this is not a private company owned solely by Elon Musk the way X or Twitter is. This is, essentially owned by the American people. Congress is essentially its board of directors and has an ability to oversee these actions. I would expect them to say something about all the actions being taken by the executive branch if they haven't already. And we would like to see, and it's governed by laws, not by the dictates of Elon Musk.
John Hatton, thank you so much for your insight. And we will look to see what, if anything, comes out of the email sent out this weekend to federal workers to list out 5 accomplishments that they did last week. John, thank you so much.
Thank you.